The Charlie Kirk gag order. I want to jump into this real quick. The court overseeing the murder trial of Tyler Robinson, the 22-year-old accused of assassinating Charlie Kirk, has become the center of a national debate over free speech, judicial integrity, and the limits of public commentary. On Monday, Judge Graff of Utah's 4th District Court reaffirmed a sweeping gag order that bars anyone associated with the case, including attorneys, investigators, and potential witnesses, from speaking to the press. Now, this is why it gets weird. There were more than 2,000 to 3,000 people, according to reports, that were in attendance when Charlie Kirk was assassinated on the UVU campus back on September 10th, which means that those 2,000 to 3,000 potential witnesses may have a gag order against them and be barred from speaking out. The reason why this is coming up, so here's, Connor, can you tell us what this video clip is here that you have?
This is the statement of the voluminous evidence involved in the case as the gag order is pronounced, as well as a news report surrounding it.
All right, go ahead and play.
There is a substantial amount of discovery in this case, Your Honor. It's voluminous, to say the least.
His lawyers entered their formal appearance and declined to waive his right to a preliminary hearing. Judge Tony Graff has issued a gag order preventing anyone associated with the case from talking about it. It's to avoid pretrial publicity, already a big problem in a case with massive media exposure involving a high-profile figure like Charlie Kirk. But the judge wants to ensure a fairer trial for Robinson. It's also brought up a big issue involving thousands of people.
We're seeking some clarification with respect to the phrase all witnesses, Your Honor. There are a number of witnesses that have yet to be identified that will likely be used in the state's case. This occurred in front of 2,000 to 3,000 students at Utah Valley University. So we're in the process of identifying those witnesses. And so those individuals are presently unknown right now.
The court will rule that as the witnesses become known to each side, that information is conveyed to abide by this order. Obviously, there are potentially many witnesses, and so it's not the expectation that you would be able to do that up front, but as they become known.
The judge made it clear he wants to ensure Robinson's constitutional rights will be protected, as well as the rights of the victim.
Counsel.
And then there were some very ominous tweets put out by Candace Owens. Could we go to the Candace? Is this where? Yeah, this is the tweet that grabbed my attention and made me want to even cover this on the podcast. This is Candace Owens on, that's the 19th of October. So what's today, the 22nd? So that was what, Saturday? Don't worry about the gag order in the Charlie Kirk case. I plan to violate it on the world's behalf. The things I've discovered this past week are enough to burn the house down. Yes, Charlie was betrayed by everyone.
Do you know what that says to me?
I don't.
What's everyone? If you think about it, meaning just dissecting what she said. And I absolutely love her because she doesn't give a shit, bro. This is literally Candace doing Candace's freaking how she is. She's not letting it die. Everybody else has kind of moved on. Turning Point absolutely has moved. Like, I don't even...
Yeah, they didn't miss a beat.
They didn't miss, Brandon, not even a step. It was just like, oh, Charlie's gone. We're going that way. It's like, I understand. It drives me crazy. But she said, yes, Charlie was betrayed, period, by everyone. You know, think about it. Everyone in this situation means Turning Point, whoever he was in texting and all that stuff with,
Trump,
his family, wife included, Trump, partner, Andrew, everybody means everyone. And by the way, I pray for her because what did James O'Keefe say, Robbie, that time that we spoke? What's your price? 100 million, 10 million? He goes, if your price is not your life, then you are for sale. She's not for sale. And I get it, bro. Can I say one thing, Rob? Here's the problem. There's no documented U.S. case that has ever applied a gag order of this magnitude, okay? No direct role in the investigation or litigation of people that are involved. So previous gag orders typically target just attorneys, court staff, select witnesses like key figures or victims, experts. So this is exceeding it by how many? So what is it really about, Rob? Why don't they want people talking? Do you remember the one time that one kid was trying to talk about the events and somebody from Turning Point was like, no, shut up. Don't say anything. I don't trust it at all, bro. This is a very, very, very weird move.
Connor has the gag order up on the screen. Defendant Tyler Robinson is charged with 1 count of aggravated murder and other felonies. This case has generated and is likely to continue to generate significant pretrial and trial publicity. That publicity can compromise defendant Tyler James Robinson's right to due process of law, as well as both parties' rights to a fair and impartial jury trial. Pretrial publicity is of particular concern because it can taint the prospective jury pool. To protect the party's fundamental rights, the court, on its own motion, issues the following. Lawyers who have participated, who are now participating, or who will yet participate in the investigation or litigation of this case in any way shall abide restrictedly by Rule 3.6 of the Utah Rules of Professional Conduct. Rules 3.6 prohibit a lawyer from making an extrajudicial statement that the lawyers knows or reasonably should know will be disseminated by means of public communication and will have a substantial likelihood of material prejudice. It's a lot of...
That was a big one.
Stopping everyone from talking. It was a big one. Can we play the clip of Candace Owens? I saw that you had one, Connor. Connor, could you just set this clip up for us? Because I don't know what she's actually talking about.
So this is Candace kind of explaining what she thinks happened at UVU on the day Charlie was shot, who she thinks is responsible. There's been a lot of talk. Is she blaming Israel? Is she not blaming Israel? This was from a recent episode where she provided some actual clarity as to what she thinks took place.
Because if you remember, at first she was claiming that it was Israel. Then she came out.
Did she actually say it was Israel? I don't think so. She was just saying a lot of people. She proved that a lot of people said that they didn't say stuff, but they actually did say it. Like there was arguments, there was fights. Donors were taking money back.
Well, and the text messages that were released did prove that what she was telling.
She vindicated herself. Easy money because people were backing up, and there was arguments, there was fights.
So this is Candace now saying that she believes it's a military hit. Go ahead and play the tape.
Which military?
But I want to tell you that I actually believe that this was a military hit that involved foreign actors and also literal actors. I believe that day ran something akin to JFK's assassination. I believe that there were therefore multiple decoys on the ground. Yep. I do not believe, just so I'm clear here, that the person who was walking up the stairs killed Charlie. In fact, my suspicion is that that photo was not even shot on the same day. I do not believe that the person who ran across Losey rooftop killed Charlie. I think it was another decoy. I do not believe that shot came from a Losey Center at all. And we all know that decoy George Zinn didn't kill Charlie. And I received an interesting tip about him as well, that he's much more connected than what meets the surface. And he potentially has connections to the federal department, familial connections to the federal department. And we are prodding that. It's getting interesting. Anyway, that would suggest that there are thus a total of 4 decoys, like George Zinn, staircase guy, maroon shirt guy, and Losey Center guy, none of which I believe actually pulled the trigger. Call it a hunch. I think it's much more likely that Lance Twiggs is the one that is walking in that maroon shirt. His build is nothing like Tyler Robinson's build. Lance Twiggs is thinner. And obviously I'm speculating here, but I believe Tyler Robinson was involved, and he was in fact driving around campus on that day, therefore assisting in the costume changes, likely picking up clothing. And as we broke the story, Tyler was seen at Dairy Queen. And what was he seen doing, as I told you? Dumping clothing in the cemetery beside that Dairy Queen. So I think that is what his involvement is limited to. That was his job, to get rid of clothing. It's completely a nonsense to think that a person who had never killed anyone was high on adrenaline after a kill and decided to eat Dairy Queen. That doesn't even make sense biologically speaking. There was going to be an adrenaline measure that kicks in after you kill an animal, let alone a person, let alone having it be your first kill. And you're like, he just decided to go to DQ, sit down, write some poetic text messages. It's why they're freaking out about that Dairy Queen leak, because it disrupts their narrative. One of many things that disrupts their narrative. But what about Lance Twiggs?
It's a good question. What about Lance Twiggs? We haven't heard... It's really odd that we haven't heard anything or any updates regarding Lance Twiggs.
Is he real, Rob?
We have not heard a single update about George Zinn. Like, it's really weird how we were going and going and going and going and going with information, and then all of a sudden it was brought to a screeching halt. And all of a sudden it became, if you even questioned what happened, you're a crazy person who hates Israel, who believes that Erica Kirk had Charlie Kirk murdered. That is what the internet now has labeled anyone who questions the official narrative. But Ben Shapiro is going to be on the podcast in a few weeks. And I had a real big problem with him about a year ago. Do you guys remember the stop asking questions clip? Who are these people that think you can ask questions? I feel like that's the fundamental right as a human being, is to question
That's an American,
things.
by the way.
Well, any person should be able to do it. Now, North Korea will execute you. Russia will throw you out a window. And China will put you in a camp with the Uyghurs if you ask questions. But here in the United States of America, we should be able to ask questions. And any person that tells you to not, is this the don't ask questions clip, Connor?
Yep, here's good old Ben Shapiro saying, stop asking questions.
Connor, you are quick when it comes to
watch out.
Go ahead,
Watch out,
play that
Rob.
clip real quick, and then we got to wrap up.
He's coming for you.
You blame society, you don't have an answer. So it must be a conspiracy. There must be some sort, and you're just asking questions. You don't know, right? This is the game that is played by so many corrupt commentators, just asking questions. I don't have to show you evidence that something terrible is happening. I don't have to actually demonstrate how the thing is happening. I don't have to tell you who the problem is. Wink, wink. But I can just tell you
eyebrows
right
didn't
now
move when he winked.
that there is but even and if I'm asked about it, hey, I'm just asking questions. Now, let me tell you something about just asking questions for a second. Just asking questions is a game for children. My son is 7. He can just ask questions. My daughter is 10. She can just ask questions. If you are 50 and you are just asking questions, I don't think you're just asking questions. I think that your level of curiosity is actually quite low.
What?
I think that you don't care enough to know or know enough to care. I think that the vast majority of people who are in the just asking questions business have an answer that they want to suggest, but they know there's no evidence for it, so instead they hide behind just asking questions. In other words, they're completely full of
What a horrible, horrible take. What a horrible, idiotic, stupid take. Why you're supposed to ask questions if it doesn't make sense? Like, wait a minute, what?
Sounds like somebody who doesn't want to answer questions.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know how stupid that sounds? Like, why is George Zinn at all these locations? 9/11, standing up with his underwear. Why is that? Why is Charlie arguing with people in text and then them taking money? Why would he do that? Why, when he wants to say, hey, I want to bring Tucker Carlson and Candace to come speak, why are donors taking $2 million? These are normal questions. Why is Tyler Robinson texting his boyfriend the weirdest, dumbest text ever? What? Well, I can ask questions. Why? By the way, here's my question. Not even a question, my thing. I can feel weird. Can I say this, Rob? Can I talk to my friends and be like, something is, like, when I hear Erica Kirk speak, something isn't right. Is that bad to say? That's not even a question. Is that bad to be like, even my mother in Assyrian is like, Vinny, when your dad died, I wore black. I couldn't talk. I was crying. Trust me, I lived it. My mom went through so much when my dad died. This guy was shot in the neck and it died a horrible death. You're wearing white and you're talking and it seems just off, bro. It seems off. And like you said, you question it. People are like, oh, you're saying she had him killed. No, I'm just saying it's weird. It's weird, all this stuff. And if what she's saying is true, if it's a military hit, which military and why Charlie? Why, Rob? That's my question, Ben Shapiro. Why?
I have one question for you, and then we'll go to Humberto, and then we're going to jump into the Louvre robbery, unless Brandon has anything to add to this. My question for you, out of the 2,000 to 3,000 people who witnessed Charlie Kirk get executed on September 10th at the UVU campus, how many of them do you think were over the age of 65?
Probably one.
One. Who do you think that one is? George Zinn.
Wow.
So for me, it goes, you look at the sheer amount of people that are there, our experiences going to these events and never seeing anybody over the age. The oldest person when we go to Turning Point USA events was Tom Ellsworth.
Yeah.
That was the oldest, and that was a rarity. And I'm not talking shit about Tom. I love Tom.
You're right.
It's very rare that you see someone of that age at one of those events. It's for younger kids. And the fact that there are 2,000 to 3,000 people on campus when it happens, and there's one George Zinn there who ends up yelling, shoot me, shoot me, shoot me, is at 9/11, has his pants around his ankles.
Has porn on his phone.
Yeah, and then goes, I've got kiddie porn on my phone. I normally, again, we've talked about this, I would think that pedophiles and creeps that are into child porn would do a better job of hiding it than putting it on their phone and then admitting it to the authorities that I've got it. So for me, yeah, I've got questions specifically when it comes to George Zinn, and I don't think there's anything harmful with asking questions. I think what's harmful is when you demonize people who ask questions who are just trying to find the truth. Humberto, what's your point?
I'm gonna say something really sad. Like, I haven't been in this country for long, and I love this country. I love this country more than anything. And this is my third assassination attempt or successful assassination.
2 Trump, 1 Charlie.
Yeah, and I realized that I don't even want to put any brain power
part of
into
our
it
culture.
or stick my nose in it. Like I have no confidence.
So you believe? So you're listening to Ben Shapiro, but you don't ask any.
No.
questions.
I have no confidence that like a reasonable explanation is gonna come out of anything ever.
Oh, I don't think. By the way, same thing with JFK. It's why I agree 100%. Look at Rob. JFK was assassinated in the early 60s, 63.
Yep, November 22nd of 1963.
And look, by the way,
That's
okay,
what I'm
that's
saying.
how many years ago? 65?
65.
40, 50,
62.
62 years ago. Still no answers. This happened in 2025 with cameras and everything, and they're so good. They are so good. We're never going to find out. Really think about it. I'll put my money where we are never going to know the truth because the people here are amazing at being evil. The layers, the George Zinn, it's gonna people.
I love this, and
never
I will
gonna know.
entertain it privately, and I'm gonna use my own time to entertain this.
Yeah.
But it's just a sad state. It's like if you go to a party and you see everyone wearing a toga, and you just got there, and you're like, why are they doing this? So like, when in Rome, you do as Romans do.
Regardless, I can tell you that there are 2 people who we can definitely rule out that have been victimized by Charlie Kirk's death, and that is his children. There's no way that his children were involved in this by any means whatsoever. And the fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, there are 2 kids that are going to grow up without a father and a man who we've met, done business with, that seemed like he was a good one. I don't know Charlie Kirk behind closed doors, but I've not met anybody that's of sound mind that knew him that had a single bad thing to say about him. Now, the left, they've demonized him. That is what they do no matter what. But the amount of people that have come out and said good things about Charlie Kirk makes it hard to believe that he would be a bad father. So at the end of the day, it's a tragic story because there's 2 kids that are going to grow up without a dad.
So if you like this clip, click right here. And if you want to see more like it, click right here. Stay angry, Patriots.